Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video, and today we are back on the F1 2005 career mode. I can only apologise, the last couple of weeks have been quite hectic, with Forza Rossi and Dirt 4 Esports. I haven't had as much time to focus on this series as I would have liked, but don't worry, this series will be returning. I've got a couple more races after this one recorded over the next couple of days, so hopefully, during the second week of my Easter break I can really sort of try and grind out all of this career mode. Really excited to try and get back into it today, but unfortunately we're at the Spanish Grand Prix and it is one of probably my most hated tracks on the Formula 1 calendar, I'm not going to lie. And as you would have seen there as we ran through the grid from qualifying, unfortunately I was only able to bring the car up to P16. If you did miss out on the last episode though, I would highly recommend going back and checking out, as well as actually the whole series so far. It's been quite intriguing as we move into the European phase of the season. Obviously today at Spain, next time out we will be at the Monaco Grand Prix, and I can tell you guys now after recording that one is certainly one that you want to be subscribed for as well. But here we are then on the grid here at the Spanish Grand Prix. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights here on the grid at Catalunya, and it's lights out and away we go. Nick Heidfeld there, lightning reactions there, going to be able to slice his way through past a couple of cars. So I'm going to go past my teammate Christian Klein there. He has not a particularly good start there, but now on the long run down towards someone there we got, I think that was Alba's trying to look round the outside there. Klein back down the inside, they're trying to make up as many places as he possibly can on the first couple of corners there, make a little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact with Takuma Sato there as we come through these first couple of corners there. But both Red Bulls have actually made up places off the start here. We're going to send one down the inside of my teammate Clay, and then try and make sure we don't make contact there, squeeze him out wide just a little bit there as we try and find a little bit of confidence in the car. And now all over the back of the other Honda of Jenson Button here. Honda still yet to score points in this season. Well, I'm going to make it a tiny bit, little bit more difficult there for them as I go down the inside of Jenson. They seem to get very good traction off that corner there, and hopefully, obviously, throughout this Grand Prix, we can try and use that to our advantage there through the next couple of corners. They're running very wide onto this short back straight here, and now on the back of Felipe Massa there. We're going to go from a very long way back there. It just, for me, appeared like he broke way too early into that next corner, and that's, well, a completely open door for myself now up into P11 of this Grand Prix. So 5 places made up on the opening lap of this race, and what a start that has been there. Really happy with that one. And so now we come through in towards this last chicane here all over the back of Jacques Villeneuve here as we're now onto the end of lap 1. There's Juan Pablo Montoya leads the race from pole, but now on the end of lap 2 you can see Juan Pablo Montoya once again lighting up the timing screens here. McLaren have looked so strong in the opening rounds of this season. I'm sure they aim to try and carry that momentum through this Grand Prix here. But all over the back of Jacques Villeneuve here, we really seem to struggle at top end there, but we're going to dive it down the inside of the other Sauber car there, now up into P10 of this Grand Prix. Remember, obviously, that won't actually score us points. They'll run a little bit wide through the next corner there, but fortunately, we do hold on to the position for now. But yeah, as I was saying, remember, obviously, it is only the top 8 that score points in this championship here, and Michael Schumacher is now 3 seconds up the road as we move on to lap 4 of this Grand Prix here. And unfortunately for me, as you can see, coming to the end of lap 4, that gap, we were setting PBs, but it really just appeared like the top 5 teams, Ferrari, Williams, Toyota, Renault and McLaren, they just seem to be in a completely different league to the rest of the field here. And it was really frustrating to see. Skipping on to the end of lap 6 though, and the pit stop phase had now begun, so obviously you're going to move up a few places in this Grand Prix. But you can see Schumacher is still the car up the road, and well, he's a good 5 seconds now up the road. So it was really struggling for myself in this Grand Prix as we come through turn 1 and turn 2. And Jacques Villeneuve now still is appearing to be applying more pressure than I was really hoping for in this Grand Prix. Run a little bit wide through the next corner, then lose the back end over the AstroTurf there, and unfortunately we've made a huge amount of contact with Jacques Villeneuve there. Really unfortunate position for that to happen there, and that unfortunately has left us in the wall there, and that's certainly not what we wanted in that Grand Prix. Unfortunately not able to get much of a view of that from Jacques' car there, but all we know now is he's got next to no front wing on at that car as well, and he was really unlucky in that one. Unfortunately we just completely dropped the back end there. That corner so slippery on the exit, and now you can just see, well, there's absolutely no grip left in this Red Bull car, especially with the way the traction control works. It basically means that you've either got grip or it's like trying to drive on ice. Unfortunately there as we come through the next couple of corners, you can see trying to nurse the car back towards the pit lane here. We're going to have to, well, there's no chance we're going to be able to make this next corner there. We're going to take the old stop, well, I think it's actually the MotoGP layout around here there. So yeah, really Really unfortunate. Once again, lose the back end even more there, and that's certainly not what we wanted in this Grand Prix. But yeah, as I was saying, really, really unfortunate there for Jacques Villeneuve. Fortunately, you know, we just dropped the back end and he was at the wrong place at the wrong time there. Found that graphical glitch going into the pit lane there, quite funny as well. But unfortunately for me, that is going to be the end of this Spanish Grand Prix. We're over 50 seconds back from Jacques Villeneuve now, so there is obviously really no point in trying to continue this Grand Prix there, and that is really, really unfortunate as we move on in towards the next couple of rounds of the season. We've had 2 non-scoring races there in the last 2 rounds of this season, which is really, really not ideal. But next time out, as I said, it will be the Monaco Grand Prix. The Red Bull seems to be quite strong in the high downforce areas of this circuit, so obviously hoping we can try and have a bit of a resurgence at that Grand Prix there. Toto Wolff, for some reason, obviously still with that McLaren team. They're very, very happy. So wherever Toto Wolff goes, it seems that his team is able to dominate there. But yeah, Joan Pablo Montoya was able to take home the race victory there. But actually the Renaults filling out the podium places there, which is a very, very good job by them. It usually seems that McLaren are able to tuck them away there. But Kimi Raikkonen clearly struggling in that Grand Prix. Michael Schumacher, you know, he finally scored points last time out. He's able to add to that tally with 5th place there at that Grand Prix. But yeah, Joan Pablo Montoya is able to win the Spanish Grand Prix there. I think that was Fisichella alongside him, and then yeah, Fernando Alonso in P3 after that Grand Prix there. So a very, very good job by all 3 of those guys to be able to get onto the podium after that Grand Prix. And hopefully we'll have a look in a second as to how the drivers and the constructors' standings do fall into place after the first 4 rounds of the season. We're almost a third of the way through this career mode there already there. But you can see Joan Pablo Montoya won ahead of Fisichella, Alonso. Raikkonen just missed out on the podium places there, with the Ferraris coming through in P5 and P6. The Toyotas in P7 and P8, they're able to round out the points, as you can see in the driver's standings there. Kimi Raikkonen, even with that little bit of a poor result, is still in the lead of the driver's standings there. 29 points to his teammates, 25 there of Juan Pablo Montoya. Jarno Trulli, still, you know, consistently good in that Toyota car there, holding on to P3 at this stage of the season there with the with the Renaults now actually tied on 16 points there. Barrichello just behind them on 16. Myself, I am still in P7 there on 13 points there, ahead of the 7-time world champion Michael Schumacher there. Mark Webber down in P8, Ralf Schumacher 9th. Christian Klein still with points there in P10, with Nick Heidfeld the final point scorer with 1 solitary point in this season so far. And you can see in the constructors' standings, though, McLaren, while they lead the way, dominating ahead of Renault. They're 20 points clear there, with Ferrari 10 points back. Toyota just 1 point behind the Ferrari team there, with Red Bull down in P5. They're still, you know, consistently in, you know, our own little bubble. 9 points ahead of Williams, behind 8 points behind Toyota, just in front, with Honda, Jordan, Minardi and Sauber all yet to score in this season. But hopefully, you know, you guys have enjoyed this video. A little bit of a disappointing one, but as I said, hopefully next time at the Monaco Grand Prix we will be a little bit stronger, and hopefully I will see you guys then.